You're watching Exit 1055 with your host, Richard Rose.
And good morning, I'm Richard Rose. Welcome to Exit 1055 Long Island. Today we begin with the renewed calls for restrictions on major Long Island roadways after several recent pedestrian deaths, including 2 elderly men and a 13-year-old girl. It's an issue that has once again led to calls for authorities to do more to protect pedestrians trying to cross these roadways that are filled with high-speed traffic. TV 1055's Jennifer McLogan explains.
My sweet son.
Their son will never fully recover from traumatic injuries Mohammed Tarek received when hit by a car crossing a dangerous intersection near his Valley Stream home. Due to a rise of fatalities and injuries, national experts on pedestrian street safety were invited by the AARP to conduct a guided walking audit of Sunrise Highway to shed light on the dangers Long Islanders face along this harrowing road and others.
And as long as we're designing for someone who's in their 80s, we're designing for someone who's 8.
Touring through Valley Stream, Rockville Center, Baldwin, and Freeport along the deadliest Nassau roads, Sunrise Highway, Jericho, and Hempstead turnpikes, dozens of parents, civic leaders, seniors, and children tried crossing 8 lanes, even 10 in spots, tempting fate.
The biggest problem is not enough time to cross the street safely. Even if you start the minute the light turns green.
So far, experts see an immediate need for more traffic signals of longer duration and better marked crosswalks on these flat thoroughfares that tempt racing.
I'm very concerned because excessive speeding, the lack of awareness.
You have to worry about looking left and right.
The state DOT acknowledges this and says safer street projects are underway.
There is an urgency to making roads safer. Seniors and children made up half of all pedestrians killed in Nassau County over a recent 2-year period. From Baldwin, Jennifer McLogan, TV 1055.
And joining us now is someone who has certainly heard these calls for the state to do more. He is Joseph Brown. He is the Long Island Regional Director of the State Department of Transportation overseeing these roads. Welcome to the show, Mr. Brown. Tell us about your response to this plea.
We're always doing more on Long Island to try to improve traffic safety. There's a lot of people driving on Long Island. There's an increasing number of bicyclists and pedestrians every year. So we have 1,200 signals, the most of any region in the state. There's only about 5,000 in the state, so 1,200 of them are on Long Island. Each of those has an individual study to look at the safety of the intersection from a highway standpoint, from pedestrian standpoint, bicyclists, even people with disabilities that we look at whenever we study intersections.
There's so many issues to this, and you know that. One of the ones that was just raised in the story we saw, and I hear this one a lot, is that the signals, even though they've been increased, they're still not long enough for people to get across these very wide roadways.
It depends on the roadway you're on. 27, I think you may be referring to, is especially wide. And we're in the middle of a study looking at that with the Governor's Traffic Safety Board and also Nassau County and Suffolk County, the police, and we'll soon be reaching out to the communities in September with some results of that study and getting some of their input.
You know, we give a lot of attention to the folks who are upset about the way things are when these deaths occur, these injuries. But what happens when you change some of the road conditions? Do you hear from the driver saying, "Why are you slowing me down?"
You do, especially on Long Island. There are more, it seems like we get more complaints probably than any other place in the state. Recently I was in charge of the New York City region, and we probably had about 20% of the complaints that we get about traffic conditions and signals, because there are so many signals on Long Island and everybody drives.
So that's a difficult balancing act. You could satisfy one set of concerned citizens, and then the rest are very upset, because when you're on that highway, everybody's trying to beat that next light, aren't they?
Yes, but the focus should be on eliminating all fatalities and doing everything that we can, everybody within DOT, to reduce fatalities. We take every one of them very seriously and do what we can to study each location.
Well, I've talked with your folks, and they always say it's engineering, education, and enforcement. And we just saw there, you know, people going pretty fast down one of the major roadways. I think that was Route 110, right in front of signs that say 45 miles an hour. And I'm just guessing, but I would have thought some of these people are doing 55, 60. And folks that live in that area say that's routine. People are going 10, 15 miles above the speed limit.
It is all three. You're not going to be successful without all three. Education is important. What we're rolling out on 27 involves all three. We've been working with Suffolk County Police and Nassau County Police, especially Nassau County Police, because most of that is within Nassau County.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. Is this a police enforcement issue? Because everyone turns to you to make the changes. But, you know, we need somebody to stop folks from speeding as well, because the pedestrians can be careful and then they step out and a speeder turning the corner runs them over.
We take our responsibilities very seriously. We're not going to pass the buck. It is also a police issue. It is also an enforcement issue. But we do what we can to try to improve the safety. The improvements we made on Route 24, you know, about 150 crosswalks that we changed, many signals that we changed. We added 4 signals. We put in fencing to try to keep people from crossing mid-block, because there was a lot of that going on. Since that has happened, since we finished those improvements, there have been 8 fatalities on that roadway, just 3 within the New York State section. The other 5 were in the Hempstead section of that road.
So what does that say, though, when you've raised these pedestrians, you've put it in these safer areas for people to stand while they wait to cross, you've lengthened the signal for people to walk across, you've put in more no right turn signs. We've seen these improvements, you've spent millions, and yet people still don't use them. They cross in the middle of the block, they don't stand on the pedestrian corner, and we still have people speeding.
Well, we do what we can to encourage crossing at the crosswalk. The fences were put in places where we knew there were lots of people jaywalking. Unfortunately, more than half of these incidents involve people that are drunk. And so
you mean the people driving or the folks?
People walking.
People walking.
So we've even looked at where they're going to, where they're coming from. Have even done some investigation with the police about, you know, potential bars or wherever that they may be going to.
So, you know, that gets very little publicity, that folks are... So, I mean, we're all really part of this. But, you know, the Long Island, as you said, has changed. They've been encouraging people to live downtown, closer to the train stations, cool downtowns and all that. And as a result, you know, over the last 20 years, we've seen an increase of foot traffic around these major roadways. Don't you have to do something more to make sure that this increase in population is protected?
There's always more that we can do, and that's why we're looking at 27 in particular. There's a lot of people that travel to the Long Island Railroad stops, which are on the north side, and they may cross over quickly because they've got 5 minutes to run
Sunrise
jaywalk.
Highway.
Sunrise Highway, yeah. To run, to jaywalk, to go to a 7-Eleven, get their coffee really quick and run back across. So we're looking at those two, installing some more of the fencing, putting in more time for the crossings.
What about lowering the speed limit? I mean, that would definitely bring down some of these injuries and deaths.
Each of those locations have to be looked at. Sometimes when we lower the speed limit, people, if it's a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit, we lower it to 35, people are still going 55, and some people are going 35. So we can create a circumstance where the disparity between the people that are following the speed limit and the people that aren't is even greater, causing more accidents.
So you got your hands full there. We'll have to leave it at that at this point. As you can see, though, the State Department of Transportation grappling with how we can try to improve the safety for pedestrians, but everybody has a part to play in this with awareness. Joseph Brown, State DOT, thank you so much for coming in and explaining this to us today.
Thank you.
And up next for you, a fresh start for some local students. The big switch in the Long Island School District designed to fight fat.
It's too horrifying to actually show you what's just been described. And it's unimaginable that this kind of inhumane and criminal abuse is being inflicted on an animal right now. Every minute of every day. At the ASPCA, we're committed to searching every dark corner to find them. But we need your help to ensure that no animal is reached too late. Go online or call now and join the ASPCA for just $18 a month. You'll help rescue animals from their abusers and provide medical care, food, shelter, and love. It's a painful and horrifying life for these animals. But for just 60 cents a day, you can change everything. Visit us at joinaspca.org or call this number now to join. It's just 60 cents a day, and we'll send you the photo of an animal that you're helping. If you do it in the next 10 minutes, we'll also send you a free ASPCA t-shirt. It's terrible to imagine what these animals are going through, but it's even worse if we do nothing to help them. Please make this the moment that you say, I won't stand by while they suffer. Go online or call right now.
Don't make the mistake of shopping for a mattress at a department or furniture store. Trust Sleepy's for the savings and mattress know-how you won't find anywhere else. Sleepy's July 4th holiday sale prices are unbeatable, with half off nearly every mattress in the store. That's half off Sealy, Serta, and Beauty Rest, half off Serta I-Series, and more. Save on select Tempur-Pedic sets, plus free delivery on everything above $599.99. Going on now only at Sleepy's, the mattress professionals.
Last week, Long Island's largest school district banned fatty snacks and drinks in school vending machines. Brentwood schools are actually the first to implement these new, tougher federal standards against junk food in schools. Brentwood High School students crowded into the hallways to help strip vending machines of all their favorite snack foods. Tasty but fattening treats that experts say have contributed to an alarming rise in childhood diabetes and obesity.
Our obesity in teens has tripled since 1980, and therefore developing health problems later on in life and eventually shortening their lifespan.
School staff worked to replace the banned products from vending machines in advance of new federal rules taking effect July 1st. The new rules ban almost all carbonated drinks and any snacks containing more than 200 calories. Public schools taking federal lunch money must instead feature snacks with whole grains, fruits, vegetables, dairy, or protein. What do you tend to like?
Doritos.
High school junior Fatima Taransa says she'll miss her Doritos, but will try to get used to the healthier snacks.
You know, it's a good thing, and everybody can take advantage of it, so I think it's a great choice.
Vending machine distributors say most schools are waiting till the fall to do the vending machine makeover.
We service over 30 school districts in Nassau and Suffolk County, and Brentwood was on the forefront of this initiative, and we're going to make sure that every one of our customers that we service, understand the law and are in full compliance with everything that we operate.
And Brentwood students applauded as the last of the banned snacks were dumped in trash cans, and it's what the federal government will now expect from all schools when they reopen in the fall. And the vending company can still use the snacks banned from the school in public machines that they have elsewhere. Well, by now you probably know that too much sun can lead to skin cancer and that sunscreen is a good thing. But there are other sun care facts that could save your life. TV 1055's Dr. Max Gomez explains.
The UV rays of the sun increase our chances for skin cancers. But if we don't like to slather on the sunscreen, we can just put on a T-shirt, right?
People that do go ahead and wear T-shirts, but they still get burned, so I don't think that's appropriate.
Surprising fact number one is you may be getting more sun than you think. Most clothing is almost transparent to UV rays. Another surprising fact is that drinking alcohol may increase your risk for skin cancer. It's possible that alcohol increases free radicals in the skin, leading to inflammation and maybe skin cancer. Or it could be that
drinking alcohol can make you do things that you may not do normally. So you may be getting sunburns, and you might not be applying sunscreen the way that you should.
More bad news is that skin cancer may raise your risk for other cancers.
It's probably because of some people having oncogenes or genetic predispositions, so that skin cancer may develop first, but it doesn't cause or lead to these other cancers.
On the good news side, there's probiotics, the good bacteria that's found in some yogurt, as well as food supplements. Probiotics may actually help heal sun-damaged skin, probably again by reducing inflammation. And finally, there's a wonder drug in your medicine cabinet. Aspirin may lower your risk for skin cancer. Again, it's about inflammation.
And by reducing inflammation, you can help reduce some of the pathways that can lead to the development of skin cancers.
Aspirin seems to reduce the risk for many cancers, but do not start taking aspirin just for that reason. It's a serious drug that can lead to internal bleeding. Your best defense against skin cancer is still plenty of sunscreen, SPF 30, applied before you go outside and reapply it often. Dr. Max Gomez, TV 1055.
And still to come for you, do you know how to perform CPR? Do you think your kids should know? Or students in school? We'll talk about that next in the effort to bring the training to a school near you.
can't stand the heat, get off the test track. Get the Mercedes-Benz you've been burning for at the summer event, going on now at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Hurry, before this opportunity cools off.
Corey was proud to serve his country. But when his Humvee was blown up in Iraq, doctors didn't think he would survive his injuries. But Corey surprised everyone. He came home to his wife and 2 children.
When I see the kids and Corey together, it's heartwarming because they accept him for who he is.
My dad is a superhero. I read to him. When I see my dad smile, I'm happy.
Your gift to Wounded Warrior Project can help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
I think it's very important for people to support the Wounded Warrior Project. For $19 a month, you give a family hope. Okay, ready? Here he comes.
Our heroes have returned home, and the war may have slipped from the headlines, but the ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come.
Sometimes I help my dad walk. He puts his hand on my shoulders.
Call or go online with a monthly pledge. You'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
I want the whole world to be able to meet Corey because he is someone that has never given up.
I'm really proud of my dad. Really proud.
Now is the time to show your support. You can honor and empower those who have sacrificed so much for us.
Being together with other wounded warriors, for Corey's sake, to be around caregivers for my sake, it's amazing. And just that sense of not being alone, because that feeling of being alone was probably the